I'm Eric Novak. 10 years ago in 2011, Kia launched its Optima, an all-new mid-size sedan with new styling and a design language that really was the beginning of a decade of success ever since, continued growth and popularity of the brand in North America. Well, for 2021, we have a replacement for the Optima, and that is the new K5. The K5 also launches a new nomenclature naming strategy, as well as a new design language, according to Kia, that we will see going forward in future models as well. I'm glad to see that Kia is investing in sedans with a new design with this K5, because really, as we've seen, there's this huge tendency towards crossovers and SUVs, and even some automakers in North America are abandoning sedans altogether. So I've been looking forward to driving this new K5, and that's the feature of my latest review. Looking at the exterior of this new K5, first impressions are really is eye-catching. It has quite the attractive look to it, I have to admit. It is got this low, aggressive, sort of fastback styling to it, which really is appealing to the eye, at least in my mind it is. And it's also built on a new platform. This is built upon Kia's new N3 third generation platform. We're told this is a platform that will be the foundation for future vehicles as well, but it does allow this K5, compared to the Optima it replaces, to be lower, wider, and longer with a larger, longer wheelbase as well. And that's really quite to the advantage of it. In fact, if we're looking at the other vehicles it would be compared to in this category, dimensionally it pretty much is the same as its cousin, the Sonata. But if you look at, say, the Accord or the Mazda 6, the Toyota Camry, the Nissan Altima, this is lower than all of them, longer as well, with a longer wheelbase, and basically about as wide. So it does have these proportions, and it's accentuated by some new design cues as well. On the front end, they basically have replaced the notion of, say, tiger nose with basically tiger face, and the front grille certainly is more distinctive now. It's wider, basically running all the way across the front, and it has a sort of a narrower, they call it almost like a shark skin or shark fin type of weaving to it, and look at the grille. And it does have an attractive style to it. It certainly is accentuated by LED headlights and the very distinctive daytime running lights, which somewhat similar to the Optima, or sorry, to the Sonata, but not quite the same, runs up along the side in a distinctive pattern. Also, for enhancements, there's sort of like a chrome line running across the front all the way to the back and around the rear glass, and on the back too there's some unique sort of LED dotting across the back for terms of lighting. Tires, you get 16, 18, and 19-inch tires, depending upon trim level. This GT line with all-wheel drive we have 18-inch black tires. 19s go on the top GT. But overall, again, this is a really attractive look to this vehicle, and it will get noticed. It is distinctive enough to stand out, and, you know, if that's what you're looking for, that's a good thing. The overall layout and interior design here of this K5 is modern. I mean, it's distinctively a Kia. I mean, there certainly is an identity to Kia interiors, and this does hold to it. But what you're looking at is a layout that is spacious. It is ergonomically friendly too. I've always enjoyed how Kia still remembers that buttons matter. So your climate controls are available through actually touch points, and sort of buttons instead of going just through the touch screen. Volume control is available for your stereo, although unfortunately on the side of this 10.25-inch wide center screen, there is the soft touch points on the side for your navigation and other stuff. Your climate controls for your heated seats and your heated steering wheel are properly positioned right by where your hand would typically rest by the cup holder. Same with the drive mode selector. Another thing I really do like with this K5, there is wireless charging available, and the positioning of it, it's in a vertical slot. It actually is this nice housing that sits really basically right by the center armrest and by your arm where your hand is, and it sits in there nice and tight. It is secure. It's easy to access to should you need to, although again you don't want to because you're not texting and driving, but it's well placed. And overall, it's just a nice layout, which is always something that's beneficial. Ergonomics matter. The legend of Peter Schreier still exists in this type of a vehicle. All Kias do, and I've always liked it. The instrumentation, analog gauges with a center readout that is customizable. Again, efficient, effective, generally well laid out. On the GT and GT line trims, the steering wheel, again, plenty of touch controls on the wheel, easy to understand, and you got your flat steering wheel for a little bit of a sportiness to it. But overall, I really do like the efficiency of the interior in this K5. With respect to interior volume on this Kia K5, it's really quite roomy. There is 105.3 cubic feet of interior passenger volume, and it just seems quite roomy and airy. It does match up basically about average and on par with the other vehicles in its category. Maybe that's sort of a testament to the category itself, because I can remember mid-size vehicles of 10, 15, 20 years ago certainly not seeming as open and spacious as it is right now, but that might be an industry-wide thing, because I mean, just I think of, say, pickup trucks. You know, an F-150 made 15, 20 years ago was really basically what is a mid-size Ranger now compared to the behemoths that they become. So that's really an observation I have. With respect to actual dimensions in terms of seating, you've got 46 inches of leg room for front seat passengers and an impressive 35.2 inches of legroom for rear passengers. So there's plenty of space there. I've sat back there for a little while having been driven in this by another journalist, and it did feel quite spacious. There's also 38.3 inches of headroom here in the front and 37.4 in the back. And even though you've got that sort of nice fastback design arching towards the back from an exterior point of view, it doesn't really diminish the comfort level and the spaciousness here in the inside. Cargo volume on the K5 is set at 15.3 cubic feet. So again, it's not overly great. You're not going to be able to haul or move with it, but you know, you will certainly be able to get your 3 grocery bins like I tried to do. It did fit the 3-bin test, and there's also room for a little bit extra as well. Under the hood of this 2021 Kia K5, there are 2 engine options available. The majority of the trims will have a 1.6-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. It puts out 180 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque. There is also in the GT trim only a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, and that one puts out 290 horsepower and 311 pound-feet of torque. Comparatively speaking to the other vehicles that are in the same category, admittedly this K5 is underpowered. And it's a bit of a stark contrast, because this vehicle just has this look of being quick and aggressive, yet it's not as powerful as you might think, especially in the main baseline engine. I mean, compared to the Honda Accord, it has a 1.5-liter turbo and 192 horsepower. I believe of the main vehicles I've been comparing against, the Toyota Camry, it's probably tops, at least in terms of its base engine, with 203 horsepower, I believe it is. So there's a little bit of a disappointment there, and it's weird for me to say that, because I'm not normally all about horsepower per se, but when you have a vehicle that just looks quick, to see that it's not quite got the same oomph to it is just a little bit of a disappointment. With respect to fuel economy, the 1.6-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine has a combined fuel efficiency rating of 8.2 liters per 100 kilometers, which equates to 28.7 US miles per gallon. That's average in the category. It's not exceptionally efficient, nor is it exceptionally bad. With respect to the 2.5-liter turbo, I don't have fuel economy numbers because as of the time of me doing this video in early January, they haven't released it yet, at least on their website, because it's still not officially out as an engine option. Final thoughts on the 2021 Kia K5. I really like the look of this vehicle. I do remember when I first saw that Kia Optima in 2011. It was actually one of the first vehicles I think I ever did a full review on. I was really taken aback by the looks of it, and I think there's some great potential in having that sort of distinctive and really overall impressive look to it that will be really popular. I think the aggressive look to it might disappoint some people when they get into the powertrains, because especially unless you're getting into the GT and the 2.5 liter turbo, this is a little bit underpowered compared to especially some of the others in the segment. But you know what? The interior, very roomy, great spaciousness inside, a modern interior space, you know, and it's priced right as well. I think Kia always has been advantageous in that regard, and it's priced quite attractively. Even at the top end trim, it's not too expensive. That mid-size sedan category may not be as large as it once was, but those who are still dedicated to it, like myself, I love this category. I think they're really going to be impressed with this vehicle overall. That's it for this review. I'm Eric Novak. Thanks for watching. There's plenty of ways for you to keep connected with me, so check out some of my social media links, suggested videos, and you know, I'd really love it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel.